Now, before we get ahead of ourselves, let's slow this down and really understand what's happening here, because this didn't come out of nowhere. This current crisis is part of a rapidly escalating war between the United States under President Trump and Iran, which began earlier this year after U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iranian targets. What started as a military confrontation has now evolved into something far more dangerous, a direct battle over global energy flows. In response to those strikes, Iran made a move that changed everything. It began restricting access to the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most critical oil arteries in the world, and signaled that if it could not export its oil, then guess what? Others would not be able to either. Through March, there were attempts to contain the situation, back-channel talks, indirect negotiations, and public statements suggesting that perhaps there was progress. At one point, Trump even described the discussions as productive. But behind the scenes, those talks were fragile, and ultimately, they collapsed. The core issue remained unresolved: Iran's nuclear program and the sanctions regime. The U.S. demanded concessions, but Iran refused to negotiate under pressure. And that deadlock pushed both sides closer to confrontation. By mid-April, everything escalated. The United States moved to enforce a naval blockade on Iran, targeting ships entering and leaving Iranian ports. Iran responded by tightening its control over the strait, harassing vessels, seizing ships, and warning that access to the waterway could not be guaranteed. And just like that, what started as a regional, conflict became a global economic choke point. There have been brief moments of de-escalation, temporary pauses, signals of potential negotiation through intermediaries like Pakistan and Oman. But as of now, there is no deal on the table, no breakthrough, no resolution. Instead, we're in a fragile and a dangerous stalemate.